we start traveling again, maybe mommy will buy you one of those truckies so you can ride it.
Morning, mate.
Hey, Justin, how are you?
Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
Good, mate. Good, really. How are you? How's your week been?
Yeah, okay. I mean, I had a good Monday, good Tuesday. I had a bit of a bad day on Wednesday, which was my fault. So I just sort of, shut down my Tradingview for the day, and then made it all back yesterday. We had a really good day yesterday. Took the buys up, which eventually went up. So yeah, just chug it away.
Nice one.
Get more consistent.
It's good, man. Wednesday was a tough day.
Yeah, I was in the office as well, so I was running around. It's never ideal.
Yeah, I hate these days. This one here. I mean, it was just grinded up the whole session. Really didn't like those one-sided days.
You know what did it? I'd made my mind up in the morning pre-session that I was looking for sales,
Mm-hmm.
and I just got married to it, and of course it just kept going up and up and up, and it killed me.
Yeah, that was the same. So try to take the sells. I was pretty patient as well. Like it lifted off from this point, down from down here, and then I think I took two sells. I took the first sell. Can't remember where exactly it was now, but I didn't like the shape of it, so I got out. So it was only a small loss the first time, and then it must have been. I think it was inside this area somewhere. And then I tried to take a second one, so somewhere, but that was a full loss, and it just grinding up like that, and just recognized it was gonna do this at some stage, likely if there was a catalyst. Just didn't know when. Couldn't buy up here because it was too high. Couldn't sell because it just seemed too strong. This was a nice little zone. It was on that Trump White House news, which was very, very annoying because I was in the trade on the US ones on the same day, inside here. So NAS, it was doing it right, and then it got blasted, and it was quite funny actually. Like, God, I was incredibly frustrated on this day, Wednesday, because of the German session having 1.5 losses, and then took a loss on NAS. But I set 2 orders in the US session. Set one on NAS, and then set another one on US 30. But these ones are actually on a different account. These US ones. And the US 31 was for a buy, but I had it if it pushed up into this area and beyond. And for some reason I thought it had triggered before this big drop. So NAS I knew I was in. I was watching it. I thought I had US 30 in as well, and then when this drop happened, because it was White House official leaked that power's going to get fired on Friday, and it dumped. All it was is a foil. There's no way that Trudeau's going to have, like, it's not because of the news that this dropped. It's just they used that as an excuse to just do this forced liquidity raid. But I thought I'd taken a loss on NAS and US 30, and the pair with the losses I took on German in the morning. I was so filthy. I was just like, can't look at the charts today. I need to go and just reset. So I went out for a run, and then it wasn't until kind of putting some of the New York ones on a different account. it wasn't until Thursday yesterday that I thought, all right, let's see what damage had been done. And when I opened up the MetaTrader, this trade had been running all day, and it had literally just took profit, like basically at this point. So the powers, huh? The powers of just forgetting that you're in a trade.
Yeah, that helped.
Yeah, because like it would have been sat in, like I don't know what it would have done. Probably it would have closed it before New York session, because it would have been sat at the entry, a little bit of profit, a little bit of drawdown for the entire day. And it was only when I actually turned it on and seen like, it must have been around here, like just after New York Stock Exchange opened, that I turned it on and it just profited. So it wasn't such a disaster Wednesday as I thought it was, because this one at least made up for the my stop loss is a bit wider, so the RR wasn't quite that good. But at least it made up for the loss that I took on NAS. It was still a losing day, but yeah, I mean that was at least it was a nice mistake. But the whole Wednesday I was actually just thinking about how I just took 2 losses in New York session, 2 losses in Europe session. And it wasn't the big.
Yeah, yeah, I had the same thing, to be honest with you. That was my day as well, pretty much.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating, because this is, I mean, what you got to take comfort from the fact that these kind of moves, this one-sided grind, I know it feels like it's happening a lot, but it doesn't. Like it's happened like maybe 3 times in the last week and a bit, which is a lot, but these aren't normal conditions. So they'll pass. It'll get back to a bit more normality, a bit more normal movement. Yesterday was a okay day. So took 3 trades. Took 1 trade in New York session and 3 trades in the London session. Each one, I just couldn't get any follow through. So the first trade was taking the buys up once it looked like it was going to break. Got a bit more than 1-to-1 out of it, but my target was a bit higher, quite a bit higher. I think where was the levels? Yeah, this area, the blue box. So secured. Price came back down. I was worried about the Asia session liquidity not being taken. So took a little bit of profit on this one, and then price eventually came back and collected the runner. Then took another buy, and it took another buy from down. I think it was this one, I believe. No, wait, what time is that? That's too close to 10 o'clock. Yeah, it must have been this one. Yeah, that's right. It was. Now I remember. It was once we came back and retested the London area again, the London low. It was. It's right there. Sorry, it's right there. So this was the second trade here. So as price was breaking higher, it got a 1-to-1 again. Took partials, moved stops to break even, came back down, took the trade. Took the runner. Then I tried a sell, and for some reason the sells disappeared now. But took a sell down to this area, and then same thing. Took some partials at like 30 pips. And then the trade moved my stops to break even, came back, collected the stop for break even. Then it just bounced around for ages, and then it was around here 11 o'clock that it finally dumped down into my zone, this yellow area. This is where I thought, at least I thought price would get back to here some stage today, because that was going to be like where Asia consolidated, like the 50% of Asia I'm guessing you took the buys up in the New York session, though, right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, and then once I'd sort of recovered my losses from Wednesday, I thought, well, I'll just exit, call it quits, and obviously, it just carried on going.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, nice catch for that one, because I felt like a lot of hard work what I did yesterday, even though it was a pretty good day. Like a lot of it's 3 trades in the session. Felt a lot because they kept on getting stopped out or break even. Sorry, the runner kept on getting stopped out, so I just felt like it was a lot of work for what if you just set a buy order at a good level and then just walked away. It would have been a much easier day, but it was a good day. It just felt like a lot of work, just kind of getting into trade, getting some profit, getting taken out, get into a trade, take some profit, get taken out 3 times. Hey, Michael.
Yeah, I think you're right. Sometimes if you just sort of close your eyes and go off and do something else, you'll probably end up making more money sometimes.
Yeah. Okay, so we just pushed up to. I had this level marked up. This orange, this green line. And that was like the top of this New York session. And then we've got a little area across here, this little triple wicker. You can see this. You got 2 triple wickers here. Oh no. But this area across here. So if we can break above this area, then the next zone I see is about 70 pips higher, which will be this consolidation. But at the moment we're responding to this zone. You can see like it's a pretty nice candle. This is the day. This is when Trump announced 30% tariffs on Fox News, I think it was. That pushed price down. Have you guys ever listened to like MSNBC and then listened to Fox News?
I think they're talking about different things.
One's very pro-Republican, one's very pro-Democratic.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
Fox is very Republican, isn't it?
Yeah. Very interesting. Because like one hand, it's like just Trump is the biggest corrupt idiot president we've ever had. And then you go to Fox News and they're like, Trump's a genius.
Yeah. Day.
Yeah, it's good to get both perspectives. I was telling Sarah about today though. I was so frustrated with Wednesday. This White House official, firepower, etc. And then I heard an interview. Someone was asking Trump about it on Wednesday, and he's quoted saying that. So he said on Wednesday, he goes, "I was surprised." This is about Powell. This is from Trump. He's terrible. He's a terrible Fed chair. I was surprised he was appointed. I was surprised, frankly, that Biden put him in and extended him. And then he kept on going on about how bad he is. And
Trump put him in, didn't he?
Trump put him in. Yeah, that's like I was like, that's not right, because Powell's been in for nearly like 9 years by the time he finishes up. And then so people now just they brought it up very quickly, and then said when Powell was nominated by Trump, and then when he brought him into the White House, and then he said, "This is my nominee for the Federal Reserve Chair." He said that I've nominated Powell to be our next federal chairman, and it's so important because he will provide exactly that type of leadership. He's strong, he's committed, he's smart, and if he's confirmed by the Senate, he will put his considerable talents and experience to work, leading our nation's independent central bank, which has the critical responsibility to set monetary policy and monitor our banking system as a whole. I'm confident that Jay has the wisdom and leadership to guide our economy through any challenges that our great economy may face.
Yeah, I was just full of it.
It's just so infuriating, the contradiction. Everything that's... Yeah, anyway.
The trouble is, you've got, in America, the Trump supporters, they don't want to hear... I mean, I was chatting to a couple of Americans in the Caribbean, and they said, we refuse to watch BBC and anything else. We only watch Fox News because all the rest of them tell lies. And you're like, no, you've got that wrong.
Yeah.
You know, they just don't want to hear it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, they're so blinkers.
Yeah. But both of them are as well. Like, you got to get independent journalism. Well, you got to see both sides and make your own opinion. But they're just so... Yeah, it's theatre. It's like days of our lives. Okay, so German today. Well, the problem I got today, and that I see, is that it was a very bullish session in New York and a very bullish session in Asia. London's going to, if we've got 15 minutes for the London Open, I really hope London Open, I hope this kind of stops here and pushes up, because it'll make it a bit easier for us to try look for a trade. If it's up here, then I would say there's a good chance that we kind of reject up here, and then London can drop down for a better buy entry. So it's either them being patient, waiting for the buy entry. It's potential. So this kind of move here, just be wary that if there's news, the way that this is pumped up in New York session all day and closed near the highs, and Asia's continued this. If there's a news catalyst today, and there is some news, not major news, but there's some news. If there's a catalyst, you got to think that the people that have been buying into this rally are selling into it. So this is the institutional problem that they have, is for them to profit, they need to create demand. And a good way of creating demand is to engineer a very strong rally. But you've got to think that they're at some stage they're going to want to take some profit as well before they reload. Their job is to try avoid risk, so they'll be selling before news into this strength. They won't sell big positions, because if they sell big positions, it can drop the market, and then that can reduce the remaining positions that they have, reduce the value. But you've got to appreciate that most likely with something that's looking so strong like this, if there is some news, we got University of Michigan, I believe, in the US session. Where's the high impact stuff? So University of Michigan, consumer sentiment, looking good numbers, but there's a chance that it misses expectations. It's not great numbers. I think they've been up towards 80 before. Yeah, you see like this being sort of going down. It's curving back around a little bit. Is there anything else? Not really, but if there's any sort of like unscheduled announcements, we had some really good earnings last night. We didn't have, I think we've only got Visa today, Visa or American Express, one of those two, for earnings. Why I'm talking about US indices, US things, is because it's they're all correlated. But they'll be selling into the strength. So with a move that's quite one-sided like this, when it's engineered like that, quite often there's a reasonable correction. So this day here kind of reminds me of the Wednesday. This day. We didn't quite get the Asia strength, so am I thinking about another day? That we had a strong New York, and a strong Asia. Oh, this day. Yeah, this one. Okay, so kind of reminds me a little bit like this day. Or both of these days, actually. So London came back down, retested the 50% of Asia, and then she pumped. And then Asia kind of tried to pump, pre-London pumped, and then London, not wanting to buy the highs, they did a little fake out and price just drifted down for the session before then it was able to pump. Then Asia in this day pumped up a bit, corrected a little bit. Pre-London pushed up to retest the highs. London promptly sold down. Doesn't change the trend. The higher time frame is definitely bullish, but with a day where we had such a pump in the New York session and then follow through of Asia, I think London will be a bit hesitant to be buying here too aggressively, because if they bought aggressively, that they would just be buying their New York buy, like they'll be buying at a higher price, and New York, anyone that's holding positions in New York, if you're an institution and you need to buy, you need to sell into strength. If London put their weight behind any buys, and if New York perceive that there could be some risk today, then potentially what they'll do is they'll sell into that. So we could just see failure to really push on. If we see failure to push on, I'm expecting to see a bit of a correction of this move. Don't think we'll overcorrect. I think we're too bullish for that, but I just don't want to be buying the high and having price pull back. I'd rather try and buy the dips. So what's that going to look like? It's probably going to look like in the shape of, we've got a little bit of a sideways momentum. So here, not momentum, kind of like sideways at the moment. And then if we can just see like price push but get pulled down again, and we're just sort of seeing buys get absorbed, then I think once we start breaking through some of these levels, we go a bit more of a prolonged correction, just to some better price points of interest. So we could take our Asia low. Perhaps that's going to be the low. Perhaps we go back down deeper into New York session.
Hi, everyone.
Hey, Danny. How are you, mate?
Good, mate.
So that's what I'm thinking. I'm a little bit cautious buying the highs, just given that it's been a really nice rally. So the buying started from down here. This is clearly where all that accumulation started. So all of this up here is kind of pent up demand. So there will be some buy the dip people coming in. Maybe it works out and it just keeps them grinding higher. That's fine. I know if I stick to my processes long enough that it's profitable overall, but sometimes these rallies can just continue on. But I'd rather a reasonable pullback. So in saying that as well, there could be an opportunity. It could be an opportunity that's fairly low risk, as in you don't need to put any much size onto it, because it could be a good risk reward trade. Is that you buy the open, and buying the open, it could push up to try like just trigger that impulsiveness and lure people in. So we could get like a break up higher almost from the open, and then that could be the bit of the trap. But that would set you about 50 pips. So if you're quick enough to get in and get out, that probably wouldn't be a bad shout. And I don't think you need to do much risk here. So as in like, you could probably get away, if it was down, you could probably get away with, risking something like this, like 10 pips to try and make 50 from the open. And because it's so risky on the open for the initial volatility, and maybe it goes straight down, it would be something that you could probably put in like 0.1% to try and make 0.5%. It's just something that 0.1% is not, that's meant to be a 5. Something that's not gonna like set you back at all. Like 0.1% easily take that back in the trade. But if you can get a 0.5% gain from something like asymmetric risk reward like that, just to see if London can just go bang, lure some buyers in, get out, because then it might overcorrect. I wouldn't do 1% risk to try and make 5%, because this is an incredibly risky trade, and you could be blasted out in literally could only take a second for you to be out, and that's a hard pill to swallow. But if London did want to engineer it down lower, they would want to sell into some liquidity, and there's definitely enough buyers inside of here. There's definitely enough buyers here that they'd have to be very careful not to get squeezed out. But if they did want to facilitate buying low, there's going to be a lot of liquidity sat underneath here that they could just ram it down and liquidate, force sell a bunch of people so that they could buy up low, because there'll be a ton of that available. Okay, now the risk, we saw the stocks open up pretty good as well. So stocks 50 is doing well. VIX is, yeah. So apart from this bit of a scare that we got on Wednesday, yesterday was a very muted day. So this was the liquidity grab. So we could probably see a bit, I think continuation makes a lot of sense. It's just hard to buy the high where it is right now. Yen is looking pretty weak still, so there's definitely no safe haven play just yet. Swiss is also very weak, so it's definitely bullish. Crypto's going absolutely bananas. I looked at XRP, just absolutely rocketing. It's good to see. Sui as well, starting to get up there. Crow, this one's looking good too. The one that's gone mental that I sold everything I had was Stellar. That one's gone ballistic as well. I sold back over here. Man, everything's gone crazy. What are you guys thinking for today? What's your plan of attack?
Yeah, I'm looking for a move down and then just looking for buys. Basically, there's a decent fair value gap below, a gap between New York and Asia, which I'd like to see filled, and then look for buys from there. Really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's a triple wick area across here. There. And then when we get back into, then this is the area you're talking about here.
There's a gap between New York and Asia. So where New York closed and Asia opened.
Oh, when you're checking the Pepperstone chart. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I'm on Orlando, but yeah, same thing, I guess.
Yeah, I think they open at the same time when Tokyo opens. The Forex.com, they have data. Between that, so it fills that gap in a bit. Hey, I was actually thinking about you the other day. Just wondering how you've been. You busy now? Is it the timing? Oh, full on holiday. Oh, that's right, you're away. Welcome back. How was it? Okay, here's the open. So straight up.
Exactly what you said.
So there's that move I was saying. just to go straight up into this area. Email them. Just say, so maybe they reactivate it if they're good to you. But that's inactivity, man. What a killer. What a killer way of. Oh, you tried? Bloody hell, man. Cool. Oh, there was that 50 pip move. Not quite yet. It was 42 pips from. Let's see if it can. It should go 50 pips though. Pips is quite a typical little move from the open. I didn't do it, but did anyone actually do it? Just take it from the open to go up into this to sort of absorb buyers here.
Yeah, no,
Tom did it last
I'm
week.
be patient.
No, I didn't. I'm flat.
Flat here. Yeah. I mean, it's worth 0.1% risk. Yeah, 0.5. Yeah, there you go. 0.5% in 20 seconds. There you go. Yeah, it's worth it. It was worth it from if you make sure your risk is low. But you got to have quick fingers. That's for sure. So it kind of feeds into my thinking that for an extended move down, back underneath at back underneath the London Open. Now that if it fails to have that continuation, if we sort of bounce around here and then start trading underneath the London Open, then I think we're going to get that move down, and probably like this area catches my eye in Asia. It's a little area of resistance, little area of support, nice little consolidation, kind of wipes out all of this demand that's been pent up. So I think that could be perfectly reasonable. It doesn't really need to take out the Asia low. And if it could do that underneath London Open, that's 50 pips to the downside as well. So I think I'm gonna look for that. So trading back underneath London Open, failure to really try get going above here. Okay. Let's see. There she goes. Oh, not yet. Okay. So if we could run this high a little bit one more time and then start breaking underneath, I guess I'll look for something under here, down, something like that. But I'd like it to just attempt to run the high again. So that way, if it does, it creates a bit of a support, and then it can be that support breaking. But this is this area here.
Right, here we go.
Okay. So one more run up higher though, and then drop down. And if it can run up higher, then I could probably get in a little bit higher as well. The 15-minute, it's kind of looking like a little rejection candle. But I think it kind of needs to try fill that wick again and then fail. Nice 2-minute HCS worth a try for 3-to-1 low risk for a long if it's in your plan. Oh yeah, you got that little. I on the 3 minute as well. Little HCS right there. Yeah, it's pretty small stop loss to go with the momentum, and you can try secure around these highs again. Okay, yeah, this is like, so now if it's rejecting and breaking back down, then I think that would be a good short, just to recover some of this move. Most difficult thing I found is daily bias. How you decide your daily bias? Yeah, so I mean, my daily bias is bullish, but my session bias can be different. So how I decided my session bias is basically where price is at the time of the London Open, and then I will have a look at around to see if there's any just some of the other things, like if I've got a read on the sentiment, whether the sentiment is bearish or bullish. Like the sentiment's very bullish, but I know that being so high here, does make it a lot more difficult for London to buy these highs. So that they can do it. The market's always right. The market will do what it needs to do. But as a probability thing, like I've got to think in probabilities, not certainties. And when I've seen this, most of the time, London is a bit slow to start, and it's actually easier to get some sell opportunities in the early parts of the London Open. Overall, though, I've got no doubt that we're going to push higher, and I'd say that that's a very, very strong outcome to push higher, at least at some stage. I don't know how the daily candle is going to finish, but with the size of this trend, you've got to think there's a huge chance that we just continue this momentum. But for these scalping sessions, when I'm trying to get into the trade and at least manage an outcome before I finish, in these early parts of the day, it's so hard to buy the highs here and survive. So sometimes it's easier to get in for quicker trades to actually let London correct some of this move. But if you wanted to go with the daily bias, not so much session bias, then putting some buy orders in at some good levels wouldn't be a bad shout. But session bias and daily bias, to me, can be two different things. I'm very bullish on the stock market. It's just trying to buy some of these moves can be very difficult to get into. Okay, so we pushed up initially from the open. We came back. We tested the London Open. We're grinding higher here. So this is actually suggesting that we will make a run higher. But if it's struggling and it's failing, if we are now coming down and retesting this level a number of times, the more we retest it, the more likely it is to break and we get a deeper retracement. Maybe it doesn't go all the way down here, but at least enough to get my risk out of the trade. I wanted to ask you about it. War is threatening, everything's going up. Yeah. I mean, the war's now been priced into this. And there've been all this money that they pump into like preparing themselves and like infrastructure and defense spending. All of that's very positive because some of these defense companies that specialize in this is in the index as well. Am I short at the moment? No. I wanted to see it break underneath here. I wanted to see this. I wanted to see it move up higher and then see the buyers get absorbed. Price came down. Now see a retest. And then if we start seeing signs of this breaking down, then I want to go short. So if we can sort of break down underneath, then I'll be in a sell. So let it break down, and then it's not going to be a sell stop. I'm going to let it push down first, And then if it could actually push down and look like it's selling off, then I'll try get in on the little top wick. At the moment, the 15 minutes looking pretty juicy. So only looking for it to retest a little bit. Like this is a bit of Asia structure. So right over here. So I think selling down to here would be a very good idea. So that's a nice little break so far. So now trying to get in on this, the sells, down to around these levels, secure some. So taking out Frankfurt low now, so hopefully don't get much of a rejection here. And just enough to fill, and then down she goes, hopefully. And if you took the break of it, you'll be about 16, 17 pips up. This Asia bit makes a lot of sense. Okay. You see how they did it? And what I was saying, like it's very difficult for London to really commit to buys up here because you've got people you're running heavy profits, and what they think is our job is not to squeeze every last penny out of this trade. Their job is to manage risk. So they've bought from a good position. They've engineered a very good rally, and engineering a good rally like so, what this does is it creates demand. And if they can create demand and willing buyers to buy the highs at a much higher price than when they bought it for, their job is to say, look, you can have it then. I bought low. You can, if you're a willing buyer, you can buy it off me for a much higher price than what I bought it. Who knows what the risk is, but there might be some risk in this session. There usually is some sort of contradictory news flow headlines. Price can drop. The institutions getting out of these positions here reduces the buying pressure up the top. People are then left holding, buying the highs here, especially retail, because they're very popular to take breakout buys. It's a very popular strategy for them. They know then retail left holding the bag. They're reducing their size. That reduces drops price when institutions start selling, and all they're doing is just selling to people that were willing to buy up here. Now the other way for institutions as well, if they don't want to buy the high, but they want to buy low, they need to find willing sellers. And you might not be perfectly willing to sell, but if they drove price down with some very aggressive sell positions, and maybe what they do is they can be fully hedged. They can buy one thing. So this happens quite often in the US session, where you can have a correlated asset like US 30 and NAS. Institutions can be buying one and selling the other, and what they're kind of hedged. But what then they do is they can unwind that hedge and help and let them get out, basically by just taking the opposite side. But what it does is, if pushing price down, anyone that participated in this market, German 40, from here onwards, so halfway through Asia and all of pre-London, anyone that's actually taken buys in this area may become willing sellers by being forced out of this trade in the form of stop losses being hit, or just paper hands not wanting to wear drawdown will force them to sell, and institutions can be buying up this pressure. That makes sense from like supply demand point of view. You need to find, for institutions, they need to have willing buyers or willing sellers. So a willing buyer will be just someone that looks at this trend and be like, oh yeah, I want to buy, so I'm happy to buy because I think this is a premium asset and it's likely to continue going higher. But it's just the timing that is very important. London session, London institution desks aren't going to be willing buyers because they know they'll just be buying off. Asia will probably want to get out. New York will probably want to get out of some of these buyers, transfer that risk to someone else. So more often than not, London is very slow to get going, or in fact actually has a pullback. To me, it makes a lot of sense, but there are times when I'm wrong for sure, and it does make you feel like a fool when you're shorting something that's so incredibly bullish. But you got to play the probabilities, and that's like the day I'm talking about was where was it? It's back over here somewhere. I just felt like such an idiot. This day here, last Wednesday. Last Wednesday, when I thought the same thing. I thought New York was like it was mostly bullish all day. Asia kind of consolidated, and then London just lifted off. And I'm like, oh nah, it's more likely that they'll come back. And I just tried to take a few shorts in here, and just kept on getting dusted. And then afterwards, everyone's like, "Oh, so bullish. Why are you shorting?" I feel like an idiot. But I know this, like, it was after taking losses on Wednesday. Just sticking to the same system, made made it back on Thursday, made it back on Friday. But yeah, these are tough pills to swallow when everything's so one-sided, and that was very similar to what was here. Just straight up, London very slow to get going, and then again now last night, New York was just straight up. Asia was straight up. It's going to be very difficult for London just to go straight up without correcting a little bit. So see how we push down into this area, this structure. So this is Asia pushed up. I think we had a bit of a pullback here, a little flag, and then we pumped. So it was a nice sell down. How many pips was that in total? 36 pips. 36 pips into this area. So now that we've pushed down into the zone, so it's actually been pretty textbook at the moment. Just initial first minute straight up, induce buyers, absorb those buyers. Prices pulled back. Prices now buy the dip. Now, not sure if that's going to just turn around and do that. I think probably going to see lower lows, start squeezing some buyers out of the market. But if price just stops here and it goes sideways, then maybe that would be the London accumulating at a lower price. We need to see. If it's just a V shape, or if it starts keep making lower lows. If it's like making lower lows, then this can really put the squeeze on previous buyers, and that tells me that people have exited up near these highs. But if price consolidates and goes sideways for a bit, then that makes it a bit more difficult because London could be accumulating. Let's see. This is a decent level for price to bounce from. Did anyone that wasn't comfortable taking sells, that did wait for a pullback, did anyone jump in? Because this is a good level.
No, I didn't say I went short, got out.
You short and got out.
Excellent
Yep,
turns.
that's good.
But I'm not back in again yet. Do you think we should go back in for longs now?
No, I need to wait and see.
Yeah.
Justin, what did you take a long? Did you from here?
I took the short, and then I did get in long, and I'm just not convinced yet. So I took a small profit, and I'm just going to wait for see if it comes a bit lower.
Yeah. I'm in two minds now. Whether trying to anticipate the depth of pullback. This is probably one of the things I find hardest.
Yeah.
Oh, where's my stocky actually? Stocky is well oversold. So good for a buy. When it was oversold at this level, that was good for a buy. You've got to contend with this area now. So this is probably a very interesting level where you've got the Frankfurt low, which was retested before making a run up to the highs. So I guess if it struggles here and then starts pushing down again, then it would make sense to run the lows a bit more. But we'll see, because this is an area of support. You can see it once, twice, 3 times. So let's see if the buyers are happy with this price. For me to get a buy from here, the last thing I want to see is a V shape. What I'd want to see is price push down, come back up, retest, try and make a run of the lows again, but fail, and then price push up, break the high, try come down again a little bit, but this time just not selling off as much. If price can break above, to me, then that's a run of the highs again. So you got to. For me, I've got to wait for a lot more price action to play out before thinking that's enough time for London to have accumulated a decent size position, which then they can look to run the highs, because they know if they can accumulate a good size position at this price or this price range, they know that there will be willing buyers above here. But for London for institutions in London to actually commit to big enough position size, they can't, especially in such a market that's so bullish, they wouldn't be able to fill enough of their order in this such short space of time. So they need to hold price here for them to actually get enough chance to fill a position size that they like. But if they can, and we see signs of it, and then it's pushing up, it'd be very, very simple for them. There'll be unlimited number of people that if they could buy here, there'll be unlimited number of people that are willing to buy the highs up here, because they'll be thinking to break out. So they just need time to fill their position. And this is the time that it's not clear whether they're actually accumulating for another run lower, because maybe they can get a better price, or if they're we're just not sure if it's going to go lower or higher. But the more that price develops, the more clues you'll get. But you need to understand that for their size, they need time. So looking for V-shaped recoveries on the 1 minute chart, that's a retail trap. It can happen, and anything can happen, but it's more unlikely. It's just something that I'd happy to let those trades just go by and be flat, rather than being in a trade that I wish I wasn't. So see how we're still really struggling at these Frankfurt lows. So let's see. If this can't register a new lower low, then that's the first sign of accumulation.
In what period, Hayden?
What period?
Or what time frame? What time frame?
Oh, any time frame, because it's about time here. It's about how much time it sits here. So at the moment we're just getting 1 minute candles, but if it was on the 5 minute and 5 minute drifted sideways for a bit, it'd be the same thing. It's just how many candles do we need to see?
Right.
So see out here, we've got price ran these lows, came back up, came back down. Buyers stepped in again, pushing price up. Got to remember as well, price is an auction. Like price is always reflecting agreement between buyers and sellers. So at the moment, it looks like from here there were definitely more buyers than sellers. Prices pushed up. At this point, the buying pressure diminished. Price came back again. We see buyers step back in. We're seeing more buyers than sellers at the moment because prices in this 1 minute candle is going up.
Yeah.
We'll see if the sellers can hold on or if there's going to be more buying pressure. Because at the moment, to me, if it could mean two things, but this could mean that London are very happy to buy from here. They're very happy to buy from here. So that's their average price is sitting around this area at the moment.
Yeah.
It's whether sellers are actually trying to push price down, or is it just they initiated the buy order and that filled the market, and then it was just not enough to keep on pushing. So that's but if they keep on getting a buy price or that. So that's that sign of accumulation there. So way more buyers than sellers. Way more buyers than sellers here. So now it gets interesting. Because if this is going to go up, it's going to run the highs for sure. If it's going to go up, so we don't need to necessarily take high risk trying to get the best possible entry. Because if it is going to go up, we need to not worry about it just turning around before here. If you believe it's going up. What would be nice is if it can come back down again, and then we see price push up again. Because then if it can do that, I think having something like this would be a fairly safe trade. If it can drop back down from here, just react to this area. If it can react again and it's pushing bullish, I think we've got no problems of it taking up this high, and then away she goes. And then I think we could remove risk at these highs, but there's a good chance that if it really wants to run, we can run to this next green line and we can push all the way up to here. But first target would be just the opposing level. So what I want to see is price come down just to retest it, this area again, but then turn around back up. After that stage, I can jump back in for longs.
So where would you buy there? On the top of your green line?
This area,
Yeah.
where the yellow and the blue meet.
All right.
But I want it to go underneath and then buy it on the way back up. So I'm not buying here. At the moment, the 15-minute candle is retesting at the moment, because that 15-minute candle was pretty strong here. Yeah, this one here. This is that first 15 minutes of London. Now the 30-minute candle is going to close. 30-minute candle is going to close bearish. So having this next 30-minute candle kind of open, try go down, but then break up, we could start to see it push higher, and that would be the hour candle then. Leaving the hour candle could actually just close. Hopefully the hour candle can close something like this.
Yep.
I think we need to see a bit more rundown first. So this is still stochastics overbought, so no buying just yet. But if we can drop down, stochastic can have time to sort of get back down to like 50 or 30. Then there's a good chance that if it starts running back up again, we can take it on the way back up to break this high, break into this structure, start running the highs. This is structure here as well. This is structure. So something closing inside of this. Something closing inside of this should facilitate a move to the highs again. Watching Peppa Pig last night, or yesterday, as we do now in this house. And Mr. Bull is very funny. There was a scene where the kids' school is like it's raining and the roof's leaking, and they see that there's all these holes in the roof, and Mr. Bull is the one that fixes everything. And they go get him, and he's on the roof, and he's like, "Who did this?" And they were like, "You did, Mr. Bull." He's like, "Tremendous job, very, very well done." But I can see some tiles need fixing. Who the hell has done this? You did it. Excellent job.
Have you started watching In the Night Garden yet?
No, I haven't heard of that one. It hasn't shown up.
Yeah, that's a good one. My kids loved it. I'm sure you'll be watching that regularly soon.
Yeah, going through all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just so glad we're like. I mean, some of the ones are pretty clever, but man, you get over it very quickly. Some of these songs, and then when they start getting like Maddie's age now, you can start to appreciate like some of these kids. Like, there's a bit of humor in there that's good for adults as well. Like kids that don't quite get, but they're easy enough to watch. But now with the new one on the way, I can tell we're going to go through the whole super simple songs again and row the boat and wheels on the bus.
Oh dear, yeah.
Oh, what's this, Mr. Bull? Mr. Bull quote: "Women can't do this. It requires skill." Oh my gosh! So that's not a kids thing, but it's for adults watching it, just to have a little chuckle, isn't it? The chauvinistic bull.
Hayden, did you watch that Mickey Flanagan on Thomas the Tank Engine?
Oh, I couldn't find it again because I closed my browser and I couldn't remember.
You get a second. It's
Mickey Flanagan.
He's basically saying what you're saying, but about Thomas the Tank Engine.
Yeah,
very entertaining.
I couldn't remember the name, and for some reason it didn't, because I didn't start it. It didn't show up in my history. I'll remember that. I'll write that down. Mr. Bull. All right. Well, it's taken time, which is good for a breakout either way. Which is good. We want that. We kind of want accumulation phase. But to me, this was that's a bit of a smash and grab ploy, isn't it? You think those 4 1-minute candles just to shake some people out? So whether that was enough for them to force liquidate some people so that they could buy it up. Kind of like what and then you get this kind of sideways bit, which can facilitate a reversal. Kind of like, hopefully it doesn't move when I change charts, but if we think about Wednesday on old NASDAQ, where the market was a bit complacent, so it was a bit complacent, so NASDAQ had to generate liquidity. So how do they generate liquidity? What they do is they use this tactic, like a blitzkrieg or ambush, where the market had been grinding higher for some time. New York comes in, and then what they need to do is they need to shake out some buyers and force those buyers to make them, I guess, unwilling sellers, so that they could because every seller needs a buyer. So shot price down dramatically, and then you get this kind of like consolidation period, which is a lot longer than the time that it took to smash and grab a whole bunch of people. This consolidation phase, which then led to some clean moves afterwards. New York, though, is very, very violent. But that's what I'm kind of thinking here, that maybe this 1 minute. This was just to shake some people out. And now we've got this extended period, which has taken a lot longer than that part. Got some wicks absorbing some sellers. So this is looking pretty reasonable at the moment. That if this is not going to make it, it's trying to make a run for the lows, but if it can't do it and it's pushing back up, this is the time that I think we can look to take it higher. And then if it can actually close inside of this structure, then I think it makes sense to take it to the highs. And then once it gets to the highs, take some profit because it's Freaky Friday. And then if it can run the highs and get some sort of momentum, then potentially there's that 60, 70 pips to the next major level. And no doubt, if that's happening and we're pushing higher and higher and higher, and we get into this next major level, this 569 area, there's a good chance that institutions are selling into the buying pressure here, so that by the time we get to sort of lunchtime before New York comes on, perhaps is the institutional buying that London did. They're kind of more out of the market, so that New York can come then and do their own form of manipulation. So let's just see if we can make a run for the highs now. So I'm in the trade now. In the trade, still dangerous, but I'm anticipating the buyers can show up. And if we can just push up into here, it'll be a good sign. We just need to run the highs again. The risk at the moment is maybe this was a rounding top, but we are oversold in the stocky. We are sort of bouncing. If it can hold this area and we can sort of close strong, I think there's a good chance that we can make a run for the high again. Thing is, though, as well, the market is fractal in nature. So as much as we're looking at this on the 1 minute and that this form looks like attractive, always prepare yourself mentally like this might not work out. Because on the 1 hour side of things, it's still very high, We are very, very high. So never go into any trade thinking it's just going to be a slam dunk home run, because there's a chance that it just doesn't work out. And it's so infuriating if we don't prepare our minds that every trade might not work out. But hopefully it works out. Come on, push. Just push. Just push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come on, push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come on, push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come on, push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come on, push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come on, push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come on, push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come on, push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come on, push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come on, push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come on, push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come on, push. Just push straight through into here. Give us some breathing room. Come
Right, I've got to jump into a meeting. I'll see you guys next week.
Okay, buddy. Have a good meeting.
Have a good weekend, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
See ya. Okay, come on, push. Feel much more comfortable with this trade if it can just take out this big red candle. But at the moment, everything's contained within this big red candle. So I think clearing the highs of it would be a very good sign. So at the moment, it's still anyone's game. But if we could take out this bit and close above there, if you don't want to get in now, but wait for it to firmly close above this grey box, I think the trade-off is you don't get as good price. The risk reward is not as good, but it's also safer. So there's always a trade-off. Okay, this is the crucial bit now. Is it going to reject? Is this enough that they want to sell again? Can we just do a clean push higher and confirm that London we're buying? Okay, getting very close to 1-to-1 now. It's looking good, man. It's looking good. It's good enough that if it's coming back on me, I'll have to really reassess. So stops at break even because I got a good price.
Are you logged, Hayden?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I've been long from here. Yep. So the 15-minute, we're back at the neckline of the 15-minute candles as well. So a dangerous area for this. Dangerous area for a rejection. Okay, come on, man. Just find that second win. Push. Don't need it to come back on us. Who's in this trade? You're in, George. Cool.
I'm flat.
Flat. Tom, you're in. This you're in. Nice one. So about 20 pips up now, which is good. Definitely over 1-to-1. So if you don't let it become losing trade, should be, trade manage how you feel comfortable. Whether that's stops at break even, try go for the full thing. Whether that's trailing your stop, whether that's taking some profit and bring your stop some of the way, or taking some profit, bring the stops to even. Just do something to, like, if it comes back down to your entry, it's kind of better just to let it get out, because you can always get back in if you really like the idea and it rejects again. But don't let it become a losing trade. But just try take something, because this is, at the moment, it's looking very, very good. I think the price action was actually very clean as well, which is a nice thing, isn't it? Like it actually played out exactly textbook how supply and demand and just normal. Like, this is more of a normal price action I'm used to. So it's those days like some of the other sessions that we've seen in the last week and a bit. They were tough, man. They were tough because it's just not something that's, I guess the pattern's the same, but on a different time frame, and it's just harder to, you just get blasted sometimes. You think, what the hell happened? Or some news drops, which is unexpected, and the markets just use this as a chance to just do a liquidity raid, and that's really shake people out. That should be around 25 pips in profit now. Nearly 30 pips. Just trying to test this big start of this move down. Maddie, what are you doing? Mummy chasing you? I'd run away too. Okay, so definitely well over 1-to-1 by this stage. So potential issue up here, but that was the start of this run down. Any questions, guys, about the price action? That all sort of makes sense, like how I've explained it, like just supply demand, a raid to bring willing sellers, or not willing, but to force some buyers out to make them sell, so that institutions can buy them up, but they want to buy low. Then the accumulation phase, which takes a bit longer than that raid. And the accumulation phase is a way for them also to unwind the sells that drove price down. And now if we can, and then buying low, they know there's going to be buyers at the top, so you can easily look to hold above here. And then hopefully by the time, what the idea is, if they can accumulate and then push price here, the breakout buyers and people looking to see that this is just a fake out to the downside to push price up, that it's not just going to reject from here. They want the masses and their algos to trigger to then really drive price up to keep that momentum going, and they'll slowly scale out of their positions here so that they don't hold much risk going into the weekend. But I think it was a beautifully executed, patient trade, and just thankfully we finished the Friday with a very nice, smooth session, one that made sense, not this kind of shock tactics that they can employ. But if you want to trim some profits here, because it's very close to the highs, and then sort of just enough so you can just forget about it. It's given yesterday how it was 3 starts and 3 partials, that if it can break higher, great, but I also don't want to ride ride on needing it to go all the way up here because anything can happen. At the moment, it should be sat nearly 30 pips in profit. Nearly, judging entry, but it should be like it's been. We've had some good 3-minute trending candles, which is all looking good. If we could get like a sideways drift inside of here, where those candles kind of like this is actually looking pretty good. This kind of drift here, it does often make a run higher, but then the pullback can often just come back to here as well. But this looks like a little mini accumulation before running the highs. So this is an area that likely, if it does want to do a retest, maybe this is just the higher low, and then because it will pull back. If the stochastic gets overbought, we know the probability. Hopefully, it stays overbought for a long time. But when it does get overbought, it can do a pullback. But hopefully, this area is just the max pullback to survive if you've got a good entry. But yeah, guys, smooth session. So let me know what your thoughts are. If there's any questions about this, I will have to go a little bit early today. Got Maddie's swimming lesson today. Got to go get her ready for. But it was a good sesh. Good Freaky Friday day.
Get your bag ready for the swimming lessons.
No questions? Any not just this. Any questions in price action in general, or other pairs, or I haven't really kept track of gold. But anything else you guys want to ask?
Just a general one for me, Hayden. Are you available next week for some coaching, or are you fully booked?
No, we'll find time for sure. So I'll email you some.
Yeah, email me and send me some times, and I'll work around you.
Yeah, sounds good.
Fantastic, thanks, mate.
Anyone else? We're good. Cool. Yeah, it made sense, didn't it? The day it was a fairly sound day. So I've been trying to get some videos together, which taken me a lot longer than I expected. Just trying to plan videos out with like it's easy just to go ad lib and then just start recording and start talking, but I ramble a lot and it just goes way too long. So I'm trying to actually structure some of these webinars into these into shorter format where I just put in slides together. But man, it just takes so freaking long to get it concise and get up some slides and do some diagrams without making it seem so just primitive. So for like a 20-minute video, it's literally like 4 or 5 hours of preparation. It just takes a long time, man. Yeah, there were some good learnings this week. That's what I think as well. That it's been some of the best lessons are the tough ones to swallow. Like Wednesday, I was so filthy at the markets. Yeah, that it was frustrating, but incredibly beneficial for learning. But it was incredibly frustrating as well. See, it's easy when it's just doing this, but the only way for us to learn and adapt is to go through those tougher times, which we can learn from. Like either learn how to stop while you're ahead, or stop when you're on tilt, or when you feel like you're getting on tilt. The price action as well. That was rather than fight the market, like stop fighting the market, let it do its thing. Clearly not in tune with what's going on, but what we learn from the price action can often lead to a much clearer bias the next day. So it's like this does not do anything too drastic on one day if you're not feeling it, because likely once the move is finished, it makes the next move more easy to read. So it's all about in the moment trying to get out of that headspace, the negative headspace, because it's not going to be it wasn't the first time. It's definitely not going to be the last time that we get a difficult day or a difficult week. But it's about what we take from it. Cool. All right, guys. Well, I'm just get out. Okay. So I appreciate you guys as always. I'm gonna leave this one run. I've taken some out now. So this was my TP. My TP1. The highs. That was my pose and level. A little bit overbought. Stops are at break even. Plus 35 pips. Now, if it can run, I would like to see, this is TP2, is just pen in your charts. You know, it's not always the same price. So at the moment, Pepperstone and Forex.com are pretty much the same number. But I'm looking around that 550, 560 level to see if we can actually get the continuation. That would put us at 140 pips. So yeah, 100, at least if we can get the 24, 550, that'd be that about 120 pip range, which I think would be perfectly reasonable as well. Hopefully it's just steady. Hopefully. But yeah, best thing for me now to do is just to leave it. So well done if you got the little buy than the first minute. Well done if you took the sells for the liquidity grab into Asia demand zone, and well done if you took the buys again back up. Could have been a fantastic day. And this accumulation, the way that it's kind of grinding higher, to me that looks like it's a good sign that it's really going to run these highs. But as always, market can do what it wants, man. If that turns around, I can't fight it. So I'm going to go. Take care, guys. I will see you all next week. Okay. Any questions?
Thanks, Hayden. Bye, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers, Hayden.
See ya.
Looks my lessons are not until 11:30.